Welcome to The Dice Tower, a video podcast about board games and the people who play them. This is a special episode of The Dice Tower in which Tom and Melody Vasel talk about their top 100 games. And now, here are your hosts, Tom, Melody, and Holly Vasel.
Welcome to The Dice Tower! Hi, my name is Melody, and my dad's not here, so I'm in charge of this show. Let's start. We're going to continue our top 100, and we're going to do 6 more today. And mine is going to be the first one. I like this game because you get to stack animals, and also because they're all different kind of sizes, and at one point it gets hard to stack them.
Now, what kind of, who can play this game?
3 up.
Yeah, this is a game that I think almost anybody can play, and the animals are all different shapes. Let's show you a close-up of what they look like.
Okay, so right now I'm going to place a crocodile on the table. And then my next turn I'll have to try to put a different animal next to or on top of anywhere I want. And then you keep on going and going until it like falls down.
Here, I'll put a snake on.
And then you can do more shapes and size, more shapes. And then it'll get more difficult for other players too.
And basically each player starts with a certain number of animals, and they're trying to get rid of all their animals. It's a lot of fun for kids. Melody, you give this one thumbs up, of course? I'm a huge lover of theme, but Yinch is a really fun abstract game, regardless of theme. You can see my box is all beat up here because it's a game that's played quite often. I use it in the classroom. And I really had low hopes for it when I first looked at this board. I mean, really, the board is just a bunch of white background with different spaces on it. But as you move the rings over, which look suspiciously like delicious cookies, and you're flipping back and forth, it's like a conglomeration of the old Othello and any other get 5 in a row game, but this one just seems to have some deep strategy. Move pieces, block other pieces. Fantastic components are one part to the game, but the fact that it's simple yet very deep, I really enjoy it. This series has a pile of games in it, but this is the only one that even comes near making my top 100 list, and that's because of simplicity. The other ones are too cerebral and aren't fun for most people. This one, anybody can pick up.
I like this game because it's about cookies, and my mom makes the best cookies in the world.
And you know what's really good about this game is that you can actually eat the cookie cards. They look so good you can eat them.
But don't.
No, watch. As you can see, the cookies do look real. They look like delicious, wonderful cookies that you can eat. And so what players are doing is they start with a handful of cookies, and they're trying to get all the cookies into their hand of one kind, avoiding, of course, the broken cookies. But there's also one other card that everyone is trying to get, and you need this card to win.
The milk.
Because we all know that cookies without milk is not nearly as good as other cookies. You're doing this by rolling the dice, which lets you pass cards around. But there's also a toss, and whenever that happens, everyone will throw cookies into the middle of the table at the same time, however many it tells you to toss. And then everybody will grab cookies as fast as they can, trying to get 7 cookies of a certain type in their hand once again. It's a lot of fun, and of course, it's delicious to eat cookies. Melody, who can play this game?
3 and up.
You think so?
Maybe 4.
Well, I think 3 and up can play it, but they'll have a harder time competing with older kids. But either way, everybody will like playing the game with cookies. Garden competition is a game that I don't always have the easiest time getting people to play. I mean, I often play with soldiers and other people, and they want war, not flowers. But it's a really entertaining game. And what I have here is one of the original production copies. There was only 100 made, but it's since then come out in a much nicer version, and I suspect that if I ever get my hands on one of these nicer versions of Garden Competition, that it might even go higher on my list. The idea of planting flowers and spreading weeds in other people's gardens and just cutting someone else's grass to get a favor, using that favor later on to get some of their flowers, and then trying to figure out what exactly the judges are looking for in the flower show. Everything just fits together really well. There's a variety of flowers. Yes, it's not going to appeal to the guy who's, I want to kill stuff, playing a game about garden competition, but hey, this can be as mean and vindictive as any old war game when you start spreading weeds in other people's gardens on purpose. But at the same time, it's also a very enjoyable game with a lot of nice mechanics, and the theme comes in really well. So I guess I can live with flowers every once in a while.
I like this game because it's kind of like the books, which are really, really good. Like, you can find things in the books, and also you can try to find Seymour, and also on the cards you can find.
Yeah, the game comes with a whole pile of cards. I mean, there is stacks of cards that come with this game of different objects, mostly little toys that are in different piles on the cards, and you're trying to find your objects on the bigger cards, looking for them. And if you do, you get a certain amount of points. There is 2 games in it, basic and advanced. And when you get some of the cards with Seymour on, they're worth extra points, which is
Try
why
to find Seymour!
Melody likes Seymour. So, who can play this game?
4 and up.
Yeah, well, that's what the box says, and that is what's correct. You can play the simpler game just with the little kids matching. I actually really like this game.
It's really good!
It's odd that there's very few sports games in my top 100. Even if you look all the way in one of the previous videos where I showed you my 101 to 200, there just isn't that many sports games. Maybe if you include racing, there's more, but when it comes to competitive sports like baseball and football and hockey and soccer, there just isn't that many, because while I find sports interesting, it seems like people can either make them too complex in a game or so simple that it just isn't worth it. The Pizza Box series is different. Now, interestingly enough, Pizza Box Football, I actually think, is a better game than Pizza Box Baseball. So why is Pizza Box Football my top 200, meaning a good game, of course, and Pizza Box Baseball my top 100? Because I love baseball. I mean, baseball to me is the sport which best simulates a board game. I like the fact that all the different things, and yes, I like the designated hitter, but this game just comes with some neat, interesting ideas with cards as you try to pitch the right pitch, try to swing at the right time, and make a few other choices, but there really isn't that big of a complexity here, and yet it really gives you the feel of a baseball game. And since I love baseball, well, professional baseball maybe not so much anymore, but I love the sport of baseball. This is the sport of baseball in a box. Alright, don't worry. We're going to finish this top 100 within a month. Some people seem like we'll take forever. No, we'll try to crank out 4 or 5 of these videos a week. But anyway, for more information, check out our website, www.thedicetower. I'm putting up lists of the games there. Also, if you go to Board Game Geek, you can see whose games you like better, Tom's or Melody's. Of course, you're going to vote for me. Melody's not here, so she can't stop me from saying that. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
And I'm Holly. And there is Melody. I'm Melody!
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.